The Bibbulmun track is one of the most famous long-distance hiking trails in Australia. It stretches for nearly 1,000 kilometres between West Australia's capital Perth and goes all the way to its fourth biggest town, Albany. It's renowned for its pristine bushland, beautiful wildflowers and unique Australian flora and fauna, all of which I indulged in on this 4-day adventure. So welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on the video and come along with me to experience the adventure. I really hope you enjoy. So guys, it's so good to be back out in the Perth Hills on a bit more of a southern stretch than I've done in the past. I spend most of my time up around Gidgegannup, but I'm so excited today to be on the Bibbulmun track. I've never done a stretch of it before, and I think I've picked a ripper part to do. So I'm doing the part between the access from Brookton Highway, near the Brookton campsite, and I'm doing the stretch down towards Albany Highway, or near, I believe, Mount Cook. I'm so excited. Let's do it. 4 days. My longest trip I've filmed so far. Can't wait. So for me today, I've set off at about 1:30 p.m. on Saturday, the 21st of September. Now, from where I set off, there's a campsite about 8 kilometers, which is called Canning Campsite. Now, if you didn't know, along the Bibbulmun track, it's free to stay along huts that have water facilities along the way, but you're actually not allowed to camp anywhere else. So in an effort to keep the bush tidy and minimise the risk of fires and things like that, you camp in these designated areas. So today, absolute minimum is to get there. For this first 8Ks, I'm just going to enjoy the track. There is beautiful weather, there is beautiful greenery everywhere. It is just epic out here, and I'm so excited. You can probably tell, but I'm absolutely in my element. So there'll be some nice clips of this first 8 kilometre stretch on day 1 of this journey. The change in landscape so far is just amazing. Like you go from this sort of more dense bush, and then down in the lower parts, and then up high you've got those escarpments where the trees are thinner. Then you get down to these parts where there's these patchy grasslands, and it just varies so much depending on your up and down, and it's just gorgeous. So all right, I better get moving. So we're certainly down in the trough. We've actually got some still water here, and obviously we haven't had rain for about 2 weeks here, which has been gorgeous. But you can see how much it did rain. This low-lying bit in between the escarpments is filled with water. A few dragonflies down there having a bit of a drink. And there is Canning Campsite. I hiked 8.5 Ks and it took me just over 2 hours. I took the slow and scenic route, definitely. So it's about 3:30 now, a couple hours till the sun goes down. So I'm gonna go and set up my tent, get a good setup going, cook some food, do some stretching, read my book. Yeah, we should get a really nice sunset and see some stars, because it is a very, very clear evening. So I'll head over there and get set up. Between a rock and a hard place. Good book, about a quarter of the way through. Maybe I'll get halfway through. Who knows? I tell you, these packet pastas are pretty good. I wasn't hungry, but I started cooking and now I'm hungry. So I'm basically just doing that packet pasta and then throwing in a couple of eggs as well for a bit of protein. So super easy for me tonight. Beautiful afternoon. Doesn't get much better than this. How good is the sunset? Alright guys, so the sun is down. I got a full belly. Time to go to bed. See you in the morning. Good morning. It's about 6:30. Slept pretty well. In and out of sleep. It was a bit cold. It's a bit hard to get out of bed this morning. All right, good morning guys. We're back on the trail on day 2. So you would have seen the morning routine there. Just had a coffee, quick little bite to eat, and it's about 8 AM and I am on the road. We've got another beautiful, beautiful bluebird day. Not a cloud in the sky, and it'll be getting quite warm. It got quite chilly last night, and I removed about 4 ticks off my body this morning, which was lovely. 2 of which had dug in quite far, so that's a bit scratchy. But looking forward to today. We've got about 18 to 20 kilometers to the next camp, and we're going to be starting to get up high, so up some of those 500 meter elevation points on the trail. So going to be another epic day. Let's do it. I'll show you some cool stuff, and then we'll stop for lunch. Now, if you are lucky as me to get bitten by about 6 ticks, I just pulled one off my chest. A great way to make sure it doesn't get infected is to find a tree from the eucalyptus family. So basically you just grab a leaf off a gum looking tree, crunch it up, give it a smell. If it smells like eucalyptus, just apply that over the site where the tick was. And it's a great antiseptic. So I'm gonna do this twice on this one. I was like, why am I so itchy? It's because I'm covered in ticks. That makes sense. Joys of it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, let's get back on the road. Just reaching a stretch of some incline. We're in this really cool landscape now. It's trees and it's a little bit more sparse. And we've just been sort of gradually climbing for the last like 20 minutes. So I don't know if you can see behind me, but I'm just enjoying the fresh air. Some time with my thoughts. That sound is Carnaby's black cockatoo, native to Western Australia. They are these massive birds, probably about 40 to 50 centimeters tall. They make a racket. They've got this beautiful red feather underneath. They're directly above me now, just up there. It's probably difficult to see, but he's sitting right there. And they don't like me talking, so beautiful, beautiful birds though. Absolutely gorgeous. And now we climb up and out of the valley. I just took a wrong turn. Luckily, I think I caught myself about 1K. A car just drove past and I was thinking, that's a bit weird. You're not allowed to have cars on the track, so I'm walking a kilometre back uphill to get back on the track. And after 1.5 Ks, back on the trail. I'll try not to do that again. I'll find somewhere to stop for lunch. All right, so this is about as good a spot as any for lunch. There's a little rocky patch here, just in the shade. So we just hiked about 10 Ks on that section, probably just over if you count the part that I got lost. It's about 11 11:20 I think. Yeah, 11:15. And then these are just little pockets of goodness. I needed this, I only had a small breakfast this morning. Alrighty, well lunch is over, so let's get this show back on the road. We've got about another 8 Ks to get to the campsite. But it's just like the landscape changes every 1 to 2 kilometers, and it's really fascinating, the different types of trees that come through, and it's all beautiful in its own right. I'm about 2.5 Ks from the camp now, so might reconvene there. All right, here we are at Monadnocks campsite. Let's head down this way. Alright, so made it to Monadnocks campsite at nearly 500 meters elevation. Now, there's a spot for my tent right down there. It's absolutely amazing, and there's not many people here. It's a bit of a tough slog to get up here though. Let's get set up. I left my life straw where I had lunch. So basically, I'm gonna run back to where I had lunch, but I just really want that life straw. I need it, not just for this trip, but it's like $100 and for future. So I'm not gonna bring the camera. I'll debrief how I go when I get back. It's quite hot, so I'm gonna be wrecked by tonight, but I think it's worth it. Just thought I'd get a phone clip of my reaction to running the 6 Ks back to where I had lunch, to not find my water filter, my life straw bottle here. Someone probably picked it up, or it's in some weird pocket in my bag. So I guess there's only one thing to do, and that's to make the majority uphill 6 Ks back to the camp. Well, I don't know whether to laugh or cry, but it was in my bag the whole time, just in a spot where I couldn't see it. So it turns a 17K day into a 30K day. That's all right, I'll sleep well tonight. Look harder before you come to conclusions. Let's finish setting up camp. Some pretty sweet views from here. I'll put the name on the screen of that peak there. Well, if you can call it a peak. Hill. It's probably more appropriate. But I've just been sitting out and hanging out about 100 meters from the campsite, just on this rock here. And it's been very, very relaxing. My legs are very sore. First full day, second day technically, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. It's just so nice to be out here. Hear the birds, fresh air. It's good. So the plan for this evening will be cook some dinner and relax. I'm going to be heading to Mount Cook tomorrow, which is the third day, and that's about 18 k's from where I'm camping tonight. I definitely need some R&R after about a 30k day today. Very silly man, but very happy man. Alright, so I'm going to be cooking an absolute feed tonight. We've got spinach and bacon pasta. In that, we're going to be mixing in 2 eggs, and then we're also going to throw a packet of couscous in, because I'm starving. Let's get this cooked up. I am starving. It's about 5 p.m. The sun is just starting to go down behind me, and we're at about 500 meters altitude, which is about as high as you can get in Perth, which is pretty cool to think about. And just over there is where I'm sleeping tonight. So I think I said I am absolutely just in heaven. How good. Now it looks like an abomination, but you've got all the flavours from the pasta, the couscous, a little bit of flavour, it also absorbs up all that water, and then the eggs just for a bit of protein. Trust me, it's got enough sodium to kill a small animal, but it's good for me. I'm going to enjoy this now. You serious? Look at that. So cool. Can you believe this is Perth? I mean, I'm only just over an hour outside of the capital city. You got Twin Peaks. Oh, this is sick. Alright guys, on this absolutely spectacular note, what an end to day 2. I mean, like I said, it's just incredible. I'm going to retreat back to my tent now and pack it in for the night, because it's about 6:30 and it's going to get dark soon. And honestly, I'm shattered. So, look, enjoy this sunset just as I did. I'll see you guys in the morning for some breakfast and getting on the road. And day 3, if it's half as good as day 2, it's gonna be a pretty epic trip. So good night, see you in the morning.
Good morning guys. It's about 6:20 and I slept pretty good. It's still a bit cold, so I'm gonna stay in my sleeping bag for a bit longer. It'll be time for breakfast. I really can't get over how beautiful this spot is. The sun is just sort of coming up and lighting up half of the trees. And it just is so relaxing. There's the sun there. Oh, we are lucky people to be on this earth. Alright, and so leaving Monadnocks campsite now. It's about 8:15 in the morning, I think. Or 8:30 actually, a bit later than I thought. And now heading towards Mount Cook. So it's about 17 or 18 kilometers, maybe 20. And the track takes us over Mount Cuthbert, which is a 500-meter hill in the Darling Range here. So that'll be cool. Yeah, just going to enjoy the trail this morning. I imagine the scenery will be quite nice, given we're up at some elevation now. So I'm really excited to bring you guys along. Let's do it. I can't believe this is actually Perth right now. We are nearing the summit. I thought this was the summit, but I checked on my map and it appears another like 500 meters that way is the summit. But check this place out. How good's the weather as well? You can just see for kilometers. It's so cool to see untouched nature. And we've even got little ridge lines. This is a highlight for me. Definite highlight. So this point right here is the summit of Mount Cuthbert. 506 meters tall, if I remember correctly. But yeah, how good. I am absolutely loving this. Alright, so just as quickly as we made our way down Mount Cuthbert, we are making our way up to Mount Vincent, which is around the same height and elevation, but looks a bit steeper on the topographic map. So let's see how we go. I'm sure there's some beautiful views in amongst the bush. So to review some progress, there's Monadnocks. That's where I camped last night. Walked all the way down there today to the top of Mount Cuthbert and then back down into the valley, and then now nearly at the top of Mount Vincent. So lots of hills this morning, but we don't mind that. It is hot too, quite hot. Let's get to the top. Alright, and just like that I'm at the top of Mount Vincent. So it's only 10:30, but I've probably climbed 600 or 700 meters of elevation this morning and didn't have a big breakfast, so I'm going to stop for lunch down here with a beautiful expansive view. So I'm really looking forward to that. So let's get down there and let's make some salami wraps. I can't believe it's day 3 already. One of the main reasons I love trips like these is the further you get in, the more your mind and your thoughts seem to reach this kind of neutral state where you're not paying as much attention to them. Whereas I find when I'm at a stretch where I'm busy at work, or you know, there's a bunch of stuff going on, the thoughts seem to really impact what I'm doing. And it's probably just the monotony of walking, but I think the calmness of the surroundings and the fresh air and doing something, you know, exercising, things that you enjoy, the thoughts just kind of come and go as they please. There's less heaviness to them, and they can just come in and out. So just part of my thoughts as I come through this beautiful stretch here. Check that out. Well, that right there is a big tree. So I made it to Mount Cook campsite, and looks like there's no one here. I'm just gonna fill up my water bottle and find a place to set up for the night. Alright, so I've just been hanging out in the tent for the last sort of hour or so. I got a wicked nosebleed, just must be all the dry air. So that was fun. At least it didn't happen while I was walking. But yeah, it's about quarter to 4. I'm running out of food a little bit, which is fun. So I'm kind of rationing out, but a little bit hungry. But I'm just going to do a little bit of a walk around and see what's around, and go from there. So tonight's delicious dinner is couscous and eggs. Can't beat it. So the bugs are getting pretty bad out here, and I don't have any mozzie repellent. So what you can do is just, earlier like with the tick bite, grab some eucalyptus leaves, mash them up in your hands. They're a bit like that, and then rub it onto your body. Smells pretty good too. I'll let you know how it goes. Alright guys, so it's about 10 past 7 and it's pitch black outside. I just spent the night by the fire, just enjoying it. The temperature was a really good night. But I'm pretty pooped, so I'm going to pack it in. I'll see you guys in the morning for a pretty exciting day, where the goal is to get to the top of Mount Cook and then safely get out of here. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video so far. I've had such a good time out here. Like, today was just one of my favorite days I've ever had. Not even just on the hiking trip, but in general. The peaks, I just didn't expect this from Perth. I knew there was some peaks, but the expansive views and the beautiful vegetation, it's been everything I wanted. So I'm gonna hopefully get a good rest and see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. Day 4. Can't believe it's already here. Slept pretty well last night. I tend to wake up at the same increments, but I was warm, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna get up and at 'em this morning. It's about exactly 6:30. Gonna make some breakfast. Well, breakfast today is a can of tuna because I've run a bit low on food. But have a coffee and then enjoy the morning. It looks absolutely gorgeous outside, so sounds good. Gonna enjoy this last day. Climb to the top of Mount Cook and just take in the scenery for an hour. And then that'll be the trip finished. It'll be a massive success. Don't know if you guys can see, but there is an emu in there. He is right in there. He blends in with the trees. There he goes. Let's see if we can get closer. Oh, he's running away. Sounded like a person coming through the bush. I wish I got a better clip. He's run away. Alright, and underway en route to the summit of Mount Cook, which is the highest peak in the Darling Ranges. And pretty much once we're at the summit, that'll be the conclusion of this adventure. Alright guys, I'm just going to hang out here for about half an hour or so. Definitely feeling the heavy legs today. Probably from being a little bit underfueled. But how good is this? I mean, it's a little bit hazy from the smoke and there's some clouds rolling in, but God, it's good to be up high. And we are at the summit of Mount Cook, 596 meters tall. Don't have the best view at the top here. You can see the top is indicated by this pile of rocks here. But hey, it's pretty epic up here. It's only about 9 AM, so I've made really good time, 8:50 actually. And I'm absolutely starving, so I'm gonna make a wrap up here.
I reckon there'll be a cool spot to sit just down there a little bit, so come along, let's enjoy this view and let's hang up at the top, because this is what we worked to get here for. Alright guys, so it's just like that at the top of Mount Cook that my 4-day journey comes to an end. It's been absolutely epic 4 days and I'm so glad I did it. I'll put the final statistics on the bottom of the screen of how far I hiked and how much elevation I went through, but wow, I'd 100% recommend anyone to come and do this stretch, so between Brookton and Albany Highway. It's very undulating, beautiful scenery, lots of wildlife, lots of wildflowers. It was a very special trip and definitely towards the top of my list. So please give me some feedback on what you thought, what you want to see in the future, and if you're planning on doing any walks like this anytime soon. But that's all from me. But thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next adventure.